Did you know there's a species of fish that willingly swims thousands of kilometers upstream, back to the very place it was born, only to die? That's the salmon, one of the ocean's most resilient creatures, a living symbol of determination. But behind this epic journey lies a massive industrial empire. Nearly 4 million tons of salmon are harvested each year, transformed into luxurious, nutrient-rich dishes served on fine dining tables around the world. The journey begins with massive harvests, where humans brave challenging conditions to bring the fish to state-of-the-art factories. There, cutting-edge processing technology combines with skilled human hands to create culinary masterpieces. Richly smoked Nordic salmon and premium Salmon Roe, oceanic treasures that captivate diners across the globe. Today, join Agriculture Insight as we explore the world's most advanced salmon farms and uncover the secrets behind this dynamic global industry. If Norway is considered the salmon capital of Europe, producing a staggering 55% of the world's farmed salmon, with massive sea farms spanning hundreds of hectares in icy waters year-round, then the United States is the most advanced salmon processing powerhouse on the planet, where high-tech factories from Alaska to Maine operate around the clock, shaping the global salmon supply chain. Tuna often appears in everyday meals, from sushi to convenient canned products, known for its rich flavor and firm, meaty texture. Salmon, on the other hand, is celebrated for its exceptionally high omega-3 content, buttery soft flesh, and remarkably low mercury levels, making it a safe and nutritious choice for both young children and pregnant women. Salmon around the world mainly comes from two sources, wild and farmed, with over 70% of current production originating from coastal farms in cold water regions. Wild salmon travel thousands of kilometers to spawn before ending their life cycle, while farmed salmon are raised under conditions as precise as a laboratory. Two very different journeys, yet both contribute to the creation of a global culinary icon. Every August, when salmon fishing season reaches its peak, the waters off Nolesen come alive. Fishing fleets line up, slicing through the waves in search of what many call the silver treasure of the sea. When the radar detects a school of salmon beneath the icy surface, the crew springs into action, deploying massive nets that form a wide arc, slowly tightening to trap the entire shoal in a giant pocket. A single haul can bring in up to 20 tons of salmon, nearly 40,000 fish thrashing in the morning light, spraying water across the deck like a shimmering storm. The ship vibrates with life, rumbling engines, rushing water, shouting crew, all blending into a floating factory at sea. To preserve freshness, the fish are immediately transferred to chilling holds kept near 0 degrees Celsius, slowing biological breakdown and locking in texture and color for hours at sea. Once ashore, these silvery harvests continue their journey to cutting-edge processing plants. For top-grade salmon, destined for sashimi, worth tens of thousands of dollars per ton, the journey may take to the skies. Some shipments fly direct from Norway to Tokyo within 36 hours, arriving just in time to please even the most demanding sushi connoisseurs. However, faced with an increasingly brutal journey of survival, salmon have gradually been guided by humans into farms, through artificial waterways engineered to replace the wild. Each spawning season, they leave the ocean and swim thousands of kilometers upstream to return to the very river where they were born. They battle fierce currents, leap over roaring waterfalls, all to complete their life cycle. But nature has never been gentle on this journey. As they leap up waterfalls, they often come face to face with the infamous brown bears, patient predators lurking at the base, waiting to strike the moment a fish breaks the water's surface. Those that survive it all, the female digs a nest in the cold gravel, the male fertilizes the eggs, and both die in exhaustion. Though each fish can lay thousands of eggs, nature is unforgiving. Only about 1 in 1,000 offspring survive, grow, and are lucky enough to return to the sea and continue the cycle. That's why humans have created an alternative path, where nature is recreated through high technology. In freshwater zones near estuaries, dams and artificial fish ladders not only help the salmon bypass obstacles, but also serve as checkpoints for health and behavioral monitoring. The strongest fish are selected and transferred to specialized tanks, where every condition, from temperature and oxygen to water flow, is precisely controlled, preparing them for the most crucial phase, the collection of eggs and milt, launching a new life cycle under human guidance. In the wild, salmon fertilization is a fierce battle among males, a tense showdown where only the strongest wins. But in fish farms, the process is far more gentle. The only thing the salmon have lost is the chance to choose their own mate. The female is placed on a processing table, where a gentle incision reveals rows of plump, amber-colored eggs, neatly aligned like strands of deep-sea pearls. Depending on the species and size, each fish carries between 2,000 and 10,000 eggs. At the same time, the males are handled with care to extract their milt. Within just 30 to 60 seconds after the eggs are harvested, the sperm must be mixed immediately in a clean, clear tray, free from blood or impurities, as even a single drop can ruin an entire batch. If delayed, the eggs will dry out and lose their ability to be fertilized. While in nature, less than 1% of fertilized salmon eggs survive, in the controlled environment of a hatchery, that success rate can reach up to 90%. The fertilized eggs are immediately transferred into specialized incubation trays, placed within a flowing water system that gently mimics the cool, clear streams where salmon were once born. The water temperature is carefully maintained between 10 to 12 degrees Celsius, refreshingly cold and crystal clear, just enough to awaken the dormant spark of life within each fragile shell. After about 2 weeks, tiny eyes begin to appear inside the eggs, a subtle yet miraculous sign that life is slowly awakening. Around day 45 to 60, the young salmon break free from their shells, entering the sac fry stage, carrying a yolk sac under their belly that sustains them through their first few weeks without the need for food. Once the yolk is absorbed, they transition into the fry stage, where they begin swimming, feeding, and adapting to the flow of water. They are then moved to larger rearing tanks, where every environmental factor is carefully controlled. When they reach about 5 centimeters in length, they're known as fingerlings, still small, but already bearing the shape of mature salmon. At this stage, the process of saltwater acclimation begins. Salt is gradually added to the water, like a gentle reminder of the vast ocean that awaits them. As young salmon grow and begin to take on the distinct shape of a migratory fish, they are moved to brackish water areas near river mouths, a natural transitional environment where fresh water mixes with saltwater, helping them adapt more easily. Salmon are such voracious eaters that they almost never turn down a meal. Their daily diet consists of compact, nutrient-rich pellets, made from fish meal, fish oil, soy, and various minerals. Each pellet is packed with everything the fish need to grow quickly and develop that signature reddish-orange flesh. On average, each salmon pen consumes around 2 tons of feed per day. Notably, feed accounts for 50 to 70% of the total cost of salmon farming, making portion control a critical factor for every farm. Even a small miscalculation in daily feed allocation can result in financial discrepancies of tens of thousands of dollars each month. Unlike wild salmon harvesting, which depends on migration seasons and open sea fishing, farmed salmon can be harvested in a much more controlled and proactive manner. Once they reach the ideal weight, typically between 4 and 5 kilograms, the fish are guided into an automated grading system to check their size and health condition. Qualified individuals are then pumped directly onto harvesting boats or transferred to onshore processing facilities. The entire process follows a fixed schedule, ensuring a stable, year-round supply without relying on nature's timing. And now, let's step inside the processing plant, the moment we've all been waiting for, where thousands of fully grown salmon are turned into premium food products. Before being filleted, female salmon are carefully examined to harvest their eggs, a key ingredient used in the production of premium caviar. After being extracted from the fish, the roe is transferred to a specialized washing system to remove blood, membranes, and impurities. Ultra-fine spray nozzles gently clean off the outer mucus without damaging the delicate membrane of each egg. The salmon roe is then transferred to brining tanks, where a salt solution is gently stirred by soft paddles in a steady circular motion, allowing the salt to evenly penetrate each egg. Salinity, temperature, and timing are strictly controlled to firm up the eggs, bring out a beautiful amber hue, and preserve their naturally rich, briny flavor. Once brining is complete, the roe moves to the final inspection station, where bright white lighting helps technicians detect any broken, cloudy, or underperforming eggs. The final product, shimmering, salted pearls, is portioned into specialized tins by automated dosing machines, packed precisely in 200 or 500 grams. Then the tins are chilled and neatly stored, ready to deliver a taste of the ocean to dining tables around the world. And the journey still doesn't end there. Entering the filleting stage, the pinnacle of salmon processing, each fully grown fish is passed through a modern fillet machine. High-speed rotating blades simultaneously remove the backbone and split the fish into two symmetrical halves, all while preserving the freshness and integrity of each muscle fiber. For smoked salmon products, the skin is intentionally kept, acting as a natural shield for the meat in the steps that follow. Next, an automatic bone removal system takes over, using ultra-precise clamps to extract any remaining pin bones. The fillets are then scanned by optical sensors that assess color, freshness, and texture. Any pieces that don't meet the standards are instantly removed from the line. Yet few people realize that the vibrant orange color often seen isn't natural. Freshly caught salmon usually has pale pink or deep red flesh. To achieve that eye-catching hue, many factories use carbon monoxide gas, an industrial makeup that keeps the fish looking fresh long after processing. So the real question is, how can you tell if a piece of salmon is truly fresh and not just fresh-looking? At this stage, the salmon is ready to enter the smoking line, the final step where raw fish is transformed into one of the most refined delicacies ever crafted from the ocean. It all begins with salting, a process that may seem simple, yet plays a decisive role in shaping the final flavor. There are two common methods: dry curing, where fine salt is evenly sprinkled over the surface of the fish, allowing its natural moisture to draw the salt inward, and wet brining, where the fillets are soaked in a saltwater solution, typically containing 3 to 5% salt, depending on the desired curing time. Both techniques aim for the same result: to reduce moisture, enhance the natural saltiness, and build a flavorful foundation for smoke to cling to and penetrate deep into the flesh. Once ready, the fish is placed on trays or hung on metal racks inside the smokehouse. Oak, maple, or cherry wood is gently smoldered, releasing thin, warm streams of smoke that weave through each fillet, infusing it with the subtle aroma of both wood and thyme. Depending on the intended product, smoking can last anywhere from 4 hours for a lighter flavor to 24 hours for a richer, deeper profile. With smoked salmon, thyme is the secret seasoning, a slow and deliberate process where technique, ingredients, and human intuition blend together to create a dish that carries not just flavor, but traces of fire, smoke, and memory. When the smoking process comes to an end, the salmon has fully absorbed the essence of fire and wood, ready to enter its final stage: packaging. Each slice is placed into a vacuum sealing system, where all air is removed to preserve its moisture, texture, and the delicate smokiness that has gently permeated the flesh. From chilly processing facilities in the far north, smoked salmon begins its journey, traveling thousands of kilometers to reach dining tables in Tokyo, Paris, or New York. It's more than just food. It's a culinary voyage, carrying with it the essence of the sea, the warmth of wood smoke, and the craftsmanship of human hands. Caviar is one of the most luxurious and controversial delicacies of the aquatic world. Its rich, buttery taste is unmistakable, yet the intense briny aroma makes it a polarizing dish. Some say its value is rooted more in branding and prestige than in taste. But one thing is certain, its exceptional nutritional content. Sturgeon roe contains up to 5 times more omega-3s and vitamin A than regular fish eggs. Sturgeon is an ultra-rare species with around 27 known varieties, mostly found near Russia, Iran, and the Caspian Sea. Most reproduce only once in their lifetime, and often take over 20 years to reach maturity. In return, they yield a living gold mine. Just 1 kilogram of roe can fetch up to $35,000, equivalent to a Ford F-150 Platinum. Ironically, in the 19th century, sturgeon caviar was once considered ocean trash. In the US, it was handed out in bars like peanuts. In Europe, it was used to feed pigs. From something discarded to a global luxury symbol. That's one of the most dramatic reversals in culinary history. So what changed the world's perception? Everything begins with a revolution in sturgeon breeding and conservation, centered around hatcheries nestled at the foot of the Andes in Colombia. Although sturgeon can live up to 60 years, it often takes 15 to 20 years to reach reproductive maturity, and they typically produce the highest quality eggs only during their first spawning. That's why each fish is closely monitored for years to assess its growth and reproductive potential. Only about 1% of the thousands of farmed sturgeon meet the strict standards of health and genetic quality to be selected as broodstock, an investment in creating a new generation of fish that are better adapted and capable of producing exceptionally valuable eggs. When the eggs reach maturity, the female sturgeon is gently placed on a soft stretcher to keep her body still without causing stress. Technicians carefully massage along her belly, using just the right amount of pressure. Thousands of tiny eggs, like living pearls, slowly flow out without causing pain or injury. Each fish can release between 50,000 and 200,000 eggs, depending on its size and age. This method is completely non-invasive, allowing the fish to survive after egg collection. Although egg quality tends to decline after the first harvest, some farms still choose to keep the females as part of a sustainable breeding strategy. This helps preserve broodstock while reducing ethical concerns and minimizing environmental impact. Immediately after fertilization, sturgeon eggs are transferred into a fully enclosed incubation system with strictly controlled conditions. The purified water is continuously recirculated, rich in dissolved oxygen, and maintained at an ideal temperature of 14–16 degrees Celsius. This environment completely prevents the intrusion of bacteria and fungi. After 7 to 10 days of silent incubation, the first larvae emerge, so tiny they're nearly invisible, with translucent bodies that float like strands of glass in the water. Young sturgeon are extremely sensitive to their environment. They are raised in specialized incubation tanks with precisely controlled temperature, lighting, and oxygen levels. Even so, survival rates in the early stages are typically only 10 to 20%, meaning that out of every 100 hatchlings, only about 10 to 20 survive. They are fed ultra-fine, nutrient-rich pellets that float slowly in the water for easier access. When the young sturgeon reach 6 to 8 weeks of age, they are moved to outdoor ponds designed to simulate a semi-wild environment. Here, they begin developing adaptive skills, swimming against currents, hiding among rocks, and responding to natural changes in light and temperature. Each pond serves as a training ground for their maturation. They are fed high-protein pellets made from fish meal, fish oil, minerals, and microalgae, carefully tailored to each growth stage to improve future meat quality and caviar yield. Unlike many fast-growing species, sturgeon take 10 to 20 years to reach the ideal size for roe harvesting. During that time, their diet is strictly regulated. Each fish consumes 1 to 3% of its body weight daily, yet grows very slowly, resulting in extremely high feed and care costs over the years. After a quiet journey spanning decades, sturgeon finally reach maturity, carrying within them a treasure trove of precious roe built up through time, patience, and meticulous care. At farms across South America, Europe, and Central Asia, this moment is known as the Black Harvest. Not loud or festive, but a pivotal point in the production cycle. From the break of dawn, harvest teams begin their work, using cold water to minimize stress on the fish. Giant sturgeon, weighing tens of kilograms, are handled with utmost care in a calm, controlled environment. Every movement must be perfectly precise, as even the slightest bump could ruin years of careful cultivation. The process of extracting sturgeon roe is one of the most complex and delicate stages in the entire caviar production cycle. Before the incision, the fish is sedated in cold water maintained at a controlled temperature of 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. Once the fish is calm and immobilized, the technician makes a single incision, about 15 to 20 centimeters long, along the lower belly where the ovarian sacs are located. Inside, the roe sac, called the roe sac, contains hundreds of thousands of tiny, glossy black or amber-colored eggs. Removing the sac without damaging it requires great skill, deep experience, and absolute understanding of sturgeon anatomy. There must be no blood, excess tissue, or broken eggs. On average, each sturgeon yields between 3 and 7 kilograms of roe. At many farms, technicians responsible for this step are often compared to surgeons, not only for their precise movements, but also for the intense focus and heavy responsibility they carry with every procedure. Some can earn up to $5,000 per month, but are also liable for significant compensation if any mistakes occur during extraction. Once the egg sac is removed from the fish's body, the real refinement begins. Separating the eggs from the membrane requires an exceptional level of finesse. The sac still retains its natural membrane, which keeps the eggs firmly attached to soft tissue. The technician's task is to release the eggs without damaging them. They gently spread the sac over a stainless steel sieve with evenly spaced slits like a fine comb. Every technician is carefully selected, often with a degree in aquaculture or agricultural sciences, to ensure the expertise required for this intricate process. Once the roe has been separated, the next crucial step begins: rinsing, a process that defines the purity of the entire batch of caviar. The eggs are gently immersed in circulating cold water, where every movement must be executed with absolute precision. Technicians adjust the water flow to be strong enough to wash away blood and tissue, yet gentle enough to preserve the delicate membrane surrounding each egg. No machine can replicate the human touch. It's the sensitivity and experience in those hands that determine the integrity of each precious pearl. In each batch of around 500,000 eggs, up to 5 to 10% are discarded. Eggs that are too pale, misshapen, cracked, or still attached to tissue, even flaws barely visible to the naked eye, are instantly removed. With caviar, perfection allows no compromise. Under cold white lights, technicians work in silence, carefully inspecting every tiny detail with the naked eye or magnification lenses. Every rejected egg is a test of knowledge, patience, and precision, because a single overlooked flaw can cost an entire batch worth tens of thousands of dollars. After a thorough selection process, the roe enters its most critical stage, salting, the step that defines the flavor of caviar. The salt used is pure sea salt, fine-grained, clean, and free of impurities. But more important than the salt itself is how it's handled. Each batch is salted manually through a fine mesh sieve into a chilled stainless steel bowl that helps maintain a stable temperature. The salt ratio is just 3 to 5%, but even a few grams off can ruin the entire batch. The mixing is done by hand, in gentle circular motions as delicate as swirling a glass of fine wine. This isn't just a technical step, it's a skill honed over years. Each batch of caviar, shaped by the artisan's touch, carries a unique flavor signature. No repetition, no imitation. It's the fingerprint of the craftsman behind every precious pearl. And that treasure, The result of decades of patient care is finally sealed in a tin no larger than the palm of your hand, sometimes even smaller. Inside, however, lies the culmination of years of meticulous breeding, feeding, and craftsmanship. Artisans use mother-of-pearl or polished horn spoons, never metal, to avoid any chemical reaction that could alter the roe's flavor. Each spoonful is carefully weighed and evenly spread into chilled steel tins to preserve texture and freshness. The roe must remain intact, each bead whole and unbroken to meet the highest standards. Tins typically hold 30, 50, or 125 grams, seemingly small amounts, but each one can be worth thousands of dollars. Once sealed and properly chilled, each tin of sturgeon caviar enters its final stage, labeling. But these labels are more than just printed information. They serve as a mark of prestige, certifying the rigorous production journey behind every batch. Each label details the sturgeon species, packing date, farm of origin, batch number, and salt ratio, all encoded for easy traceability. This dish is typically served with thin toast, a bit of sour cream, or simply allowed to melt slowly on the tongue with a mother-of-pearl spoon. Just a small spoonful of about 5 grams of premium caviar can cost anywhere from $50 to $200. But remember our sturgeon? Its story doesn't end with the caviar. The fish itself isn't wasted. Its meat is carefully processed and sent off to become premium smoked sturgeon, continuing the journey of value from nose to tail. Beyond caviar, smoked sturgeon is also considered a delicacy, offering a completely different flavor and aroma experience. The fish is not skinned or deboned. It remains nearly intact to preserve the natural fat, tissue, and structure. Each fish is sliced lengthwise, pierced with bamboo skewers or stainless steel hooks, and hung in a traditional smoking room. Below, a fire is lit using oak or fruit wood, slow-burning woods known for producing steady, aromatic smoke. The smoking process lasts 6 to 8 hours at a carefully controlled temperature between 40 and 50 degrees Celsius. This temperature allows the smoke to deeply infuse the meat without cooking the fish. Compared to fresh fillet, smoked sturgeon delivers a more complex taste, mildly salty, subtly sweet, and rich in smoky aroma, offering a deep, lingering sensation on the palate. It's both a preservation method and a tribute to the artisanal, rustic essence of sturgeon. Every strawberry's journey begins in sprawling fields. In California, which supplies an impressive 90% of the U.S. strawberry production, the total strawberry acreage spans 37,000 acres, with 2/3 of it concentrated in the Santa Maria area. Strawberries here are harvested almost year-round, becoming ready for picking about 70 days after planting. Hand picking is the traditional method of harvesting strawberries in California, where the majority of the workforce on these vast fields is made up of Mexican laborers. After watching the harvesting process, would you like to go directly to the gardens to pick the red strawberries? Have you ever noticed that farmers often run really fast after harvesting strawberries? If you know why, drop a comment and let me know. Each year, around 55,000 workers take up jobs on California's strawberry farms. Earning an average of $15 to $20 per hour, they work tirelessly under the blazing sun, carefully moving row by row, picking only the ripest, reddest strawberries. These skilled hands not only recognize the perfect ripeness of each berry, but also handle them delicately, placing them into harvest boxes nearby to prevent bruising or damage. This job demands patience and precision, as strawberries are incredibly fragile. Once the harvest boxes are filled to the brim, they are immediately transported to packaging facilities, ensuring maximum freshness before reaching consumers. While the work of harvesting strawberries is undeniably tough, it also provides job opportunities for thousands of immigrant workers who have become the heart and soul of California's renowned strawberry industry. These boxes of strawberries can be shipped directly to consumers without any further processing steps. Alongside being packaged fresh for direct sale, many strawberries are destined to become frozen delights, ensuring their flavor and quality are preserved for longer. At the factory, strawberries are carefully unloaded onto conveyor belts, where they move to automated cutting machines that remove their green caps. This cutting system precisely trims the caps without damaging the fruit, ensuring the flesh remains intact. This efficient process not only speeds up production, but also ensures each strawberry is uniformly prepared for the next stage. Once the green caps are removed, the strawberries undergo a thorough washing process to ensure they are completely clean and free from any impurities. This is achieved through a combination of high-pressure spray nozzles and large immersion tanks, which work together to remove dirt, debris, and any potential residues from the fruit. The high-pressure spray nozzles gently rinse the strawberries, while the immersion tanks provide a deep cleanse, allowing even the tiniest particles to be washed away. Once cleaned, the strawberries move along the conveyor for hand sorting. Skilled workers meticulously inspect each berry, removing any that don't meet the strict quality standards. This step ensures only the best strawberries move forward in the process. Next, the selected strawberries move on to the quick freezing stage, where they are exposed to extremely low temperatures of 9 to 20 degrees Fahrenheit. This rapid freezing process works by quickly lowering the temperature of the fruit, preventing the formation of large ice crystals that could damage the cell structure. The freezing process typically takes about 2 to 10 minutes. The strawberries are gently shaken or jostled on the conveyor belt to ensure they don't stick together, allowing for an even freeze and maintaining their quality. The strawberries are funneled into a sizing station, where they are sorted by size. The conveyor system includes precisely spaced slots that allow strawberries of specific dimensions to drop through, ensuring consistency in the final product. A final round of hand sorting takes place to double-check quality and ensure no imperfections are missed. Finally, the sorted and frozen strawberries are packed into cartons lined with protective plastic bags. The cartons are then carefully sealed to protect the products inside, ensuring the freshness and quality of the frozen strawberries. These cartons are then stacked onto pallets, ready for transport. With every step designed to maximize freshness and quality, these frozen strawberries are prepared to bring a taste of summer to consumers year-round. Next, we head to the strawberry jam factory. At the jam factory, large bags of frozen strawberries are emptied out to begin the jam-making process. Frozen strawberries are used because they retain their freshness and natural flavor thanks to the quick freezing process. This ensures that the strawberry jam is delicious, visually appealing, and of high quality. Next, the strawberries are transported to the cooking area, where they are poured into large industrial cooking kettles. These kettles are designed to handle high volumes of strawberries while maintaining consistent heat for even cooking. Once inside, the strawberries are combined with carefully measured amounts of sugar and other ingredients, such as natural pectin or lemon juice, depending on the desired texture and flavor profile. During cooking, the mixture is gently stirred to prevent burning and to maintain the vibrant red color of the strawberries. This step is critical to producing a jam that not only tastes delicious, but also has an appealing texture and consistency. The controlled process ensures every batch meets high-quality standards, delivering the same delightful taste every time. After about 30 minutes of cooking, the strawberry jam reaches perfection and is ready to be transferred to the jar filling area. The jar filling process for strawberry jam on an automated conveyor system is a seamless and efficient operation. At the filling station, Precise nozzles dispense the cooked strawberry jam into each jar. The system is designed to control the exact quantity poured into each jar, ensuring uniformity across the batch. The jam, still warm, flows smoothly into the jars, filling them up to the required level. After the jars are filled with warm strawberry jam, they move to the capping station on the conveyor belt. Here, sterilized lids are automatically placed onto each jar with precision. Advanced machinery then securely seals the lids, creating an airtight closure that preserves the jam's freshness and flavor. After sealing, the jars of strawberry jam are sprayed with water to quickly cool them down, stabilizing the internal temperature and preventing condensation inside the jars. After the jars are securely sealed, they move to the labeling station. Automated systems apply labels with product information, ensuring accuracy and consistency. The labeled jars are then packed into large boxes, ready for transportation and distribution to reach consumers. Now that we've followed the journey of the strawberry from field to table, you might wonder, how do farmers nurture these berries from seedling to fruit? Let's dive in. Strawberry fields in California begin with thorough plowing and tilling to loosen the soil, improve aeration, and prepare it for planting. Next, raised beds are carefully shaped to create an ideal environment for strawberry plants, ensuring proper drainage and healthy root development. The raised beds are then covered with plastic mulch to retain soil moisture, control weeds, and regulate soil temperature. Semi-automatic planting machines are used to efficiently plant strawberry seedlings, placing them at consistent depths and spacing for optimal growth. After planting, sprinkler or rotary irrigation systems are employed to evenly water the strawberry fields, ensuring every plant receives adequate moisture while minimizing water waste. Automatic fertilizer spreaders are then used to evenly distribute nutrients across the field, providing the plants with the essential elements needed for healthy growth and high yields. And that's how a thriving strawberry field is cultivated in California. In Europe, greenhouse growing is more common than farm growing. The process begins by harvesting strawberry runners from open fields, carefully selecting healthy, disease-free plants. The harvested runners are then transported to a sorting facility, where workers carefully sort and select the best quality runners for planting. Next, the selected runners are transferred to tray fields, where they are planted in specially designed trays filled with nutrient-rich substrate. These trays ensure optimal root development and plant health. Once filled, the trays are carefully arranged in the field. This setup provides the ideal conditions for the young strawberry plants to establish strong roots before being moved to the greenhouse. Afterward, the strawberry runners are meticulously placed into the trays by skilled farmers. Each runner is positioned with care to ensure proper root contact with the nutrient-rich substrate. This precise process helps maximize the plant's growth potential and prepares them for the next stages of cultivation. After approximately 2 to 3 months of care in the tray fields, the strawberry plants are mature enough to be transplanted into the greenhouse. Farmers carefully harvest the trays of strawberry plants and transport them to the greenhouse for the next stage of cultivation. Once inside the greenhouses, the strawberry plants are carefully transplanted into their growing systems, which are designed to provide optimal conditions for growth. Soon after, these flowers transform into plump, juicy strawberries, ripening to a vibrant red, ready for harvest. The process of harvesting strawberries in a greenhouse is exactly the same as harvesting in the field. After harvesting, the strawberries are carefully packed into containers to preserve their freshness during transport. They are then quickly transported to a nearby packing facility, where workers sort and pack the berries according to size and quality standards. The packaging process ensures the strawberries are protected from damage and maintain their peak flavor and appearance. Each year, the United States spends over $8 billion importing coffee from tropical regions across the globe. But what makes these small beans known as the black gold of agriculture? Coffee is a perennial plant that takes about 3 to 5 years to mature and start flowering. Its delicate white blossoms with a sweet fragrance only bloom for a few fleeting days before transforming into plump coffee cherries. After approximately 6 to 9 months, when about 95% of the cherries turn bright red and only 5% remain green, farmers begin the harvest season. Thanks to the support of modern machinery, harvesting has become faster and more efficient, significantly reducing labor demands while still ensuring the quality of each coffee bean. During the dry season, across vast coffee fields, you'll witness a seamless blend of nature and modern technology. The most advanced coffee harvesting machines glide through rows of coffee plants like diligent giants, performing their tasks with rhythm and precision. These machines are equipped with a specialized vibrating rod system featuring up to 1,500 rods that create just the right amount of vibration to shake ripe coffee cherries from the branches without damaging the tree or unripe fruit. The fallen cherries are collected by soft catchment mats, minimizing contamination or bruising. From there, the cherries move along an automated conveyor belt, where smart air blowers remove leaves, small branches, and other debris, leaving only clean, high-quality coffee cherries ready for the next stage. This closed-loop process ends with an automated transport system that moves the coffee into large containers on the accompanying trailers, ready for the next stage of processing. With a capacity of up to 12,000 pounds of coffee per hour, these machines replace the manual labor of over 100 workers, saving both time and significant costs. What's even more impressive is that this technology allows coffee plants to be cleared sooner, giving them extra time to recover and prepare for the next harvest season. This boosts both long-term productivity and quality. It's not just a solution to labor challenges, it's a step toward a more sustainable future for the global coffee industry. Alongside the use of modern machinery, hand-picking coffee remains a common practice in areas with steep terrain or when harvesting premium coffee. Farmers carefully pluck each ripe cherry directly from the branches, ensuring optimal quality. This process is often repeated in multiple rounds, allowing only fully ripe cherries to be collected while leaving the green ones to mature. The harvested cherries are gently placed into baskets and then transported to the processing area. Although this method is time-consuming and labor-intensive, it protects the coffee plants and minimizes damage to the cherries. Hand harvesting helps preserve the natural flavor and ensures the highest quality of the coffee. This meticulous approach is essential for producing specialty coffee, which is highly regarded worldwide. This manual technique not only reflects the dedication and precision of the farmers, but also plays a crucial role in maintaining the exceptional quality of specialty coffee, a source of pride for coffee growers and renowned coffee-producing regions around the globe. After being harvested, ripe coffee cherries are loaded into large trucks, each capable of carrying up to 20,000 pounds of coffee. These trucks ensure quick and efficient transportation to the processing area, keeping the coffee cherries fresh and ready for the next stages of handling. When the trucks arrive at the processing area, the journey to transform the cherries into high-quality coffee beans begins. This meticulous and detailed process combines traditional expertise with modern technology, ensuring that every coffee bean meets the highest standards before it reaches the consumer's cup. The processing journey begins with sorting the coffee cherries using water. The cherries are poured into large water tanks where they are separated based on their density. Ripe and high-quality cherries sink to the bottom of the tank, while unripe, hollow, or lower-quality ones float to the top and are removed. This step ensures that only the best cherries move on to the next stage of processing. In some places, farmers use the dry processing method. After sorting the coffee cherries, they dry them directly under the sun for about 7 to 14 days. Once the cherries are properly dried, they are taken to be hulled, where the outer layers are removed to reveal the coffee beans inside. Machines use rotating drums and pressure plates to strip away the fruit pulp and outer skin, leaving only the coffee beans intact. The discarded pulp and skin are often reused as natural fertilizer, enriching the soil for future coffee crops. Even after hulling, the coffee beans are still covered in a natural sticky layer called mucilage. This mucilage is removed through a natural fermentation process in tanks. The fermentation time varies depending on the surrounding temperature, with the ideal range being 64 to 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Once the mucilage breaks down, the beans are thoroughly washed with water to remove all remaining residue, ensuring they are clean and ready for the drying stage. Drying is a critical step in coffee processing, as it reduces the moisture content of the beans to the ideal range of 10 to 12%, making them suitable for long-term storage without the risk of mold. Sun drying is a traditional method where beans are spread evenly on flat surfaces like patios or drying beds. They are turned 2 to 3 times per hour over 7 to 14 days, depending on the weather. This method preserves the natural flavor of the beans, but is highly weather dependent. Machine drying, on the other hand, is used in modern processing facilities. The beans are dried at controlled temperatures between 104 to 140 degrees Celsius for 24 to 48 hours, ensuring quicker and more uniform drying. This method guarantees consistent quality while reducing dependency on weather conditions. Once the coffee beans are dried to the ideal moisture level, they are sent to hulling machines to remove the thin parchment layer that protected the beans during drying. After hulling, the beans are carefully sorted. Screens are used to separate the beans by size, large, small, or uniform. Heavier beans with higher density are usually considered of better quality and are selected. Additionally, advanced laser scanning technology is employed to detect and remove any beans with surface defects or that fail to meet color standards. After being processed and packed, green coffee beans are transported to the United States primarily by sea, which is an economical and efficient method. The coffee is stored in specialized containers, each capable of holding approximately 44,000 to 55,000 pounds of green coffee beans. Massive cargo ships with capacities of up to 44 million pounds carry thousands of tons of coffee across the ocean to the US. During the weeks-long journey, the containers are kept under strict temperature and humidity control to ensure the beans maintain their quality and flavor. Once the coffee arrives in the US, it is sent to processing facilities where the crucial step of roasting determines the final flavor of the beans. During this process, green coffee beans are placed into roasting machines, where the temperature is carefully controlled between 356 to 464 degrees, depending on the desired roast level. After roasting, the beans may either be left whole or ground into fine powder to meet market demands. Ground coffee is typically packed in airtight bags with one-way valves, preserving its fresh aroma and flavor, ready to be enjoyed by consumers.